For those of you who don't know, there's a movement happening in a corner of the Batman universe. This movement is intended to bring back a beloved character named Stephanie Brown. She was the first canon female Robin, the fourth Batgirl, and originally appeared as Spoiler. She is the daughter of the Batman villain Clue Master, and along with Cassandra Cain, DC has basically dropped her. There seemed to have been some hope when exactly a month ago from today, TV Guide interviewed Brian Q. Miller, Smallville series writer, as well as writer of Batgirl Volume 2. He mentioned that in the Smallville universe, Batman would be aided by Stephanie Brown as Nightwing. Brian specifically chose Stephanie because, quote, Bruce can be somewhat of an angry man. Stephanie's personality is so can-do and unsinkable and bright, so it's very much on purpose on Bruce's part that he has a good cop going out on patrol with him every night. Brian also mentioned that there would indeed be a reason why Stephanie was Nightwing instead of Batgirl. But alas, DC Comics higher-ups decided to wave this new hope in front of us fans and then dash them down to the ground by replacing Brian's choice of Stephanie with Barbara Gordon because, quote, Smallville's meant to be focused on the Smallville characters with guest stars as the most classic incarnations of the characters. When clearly that is an outright lie, seeing as Bart Allen, known as Kid Flash and Impulse, was the only Flash in the Smallville universe, not counting the Silver Age version in the Justice Society episode, which didn't make an appearance anyway. Also, Speedy in Smallville was Mia, not the more well-known Roy Harper. The point being that DC once again slapped the faces of Stephanie Brown and Batman fans in one disappointing careless swoop. Which brings us to the movement. The movement is called Waffles for Stephanie. I'll provide the website link in the description. Here's the introduction. Hello and welcome to the official Waffles for Steph Tumblr. If you don't know what we are, please skim through our FAQ. Dear readers, we are running a mailing campaign called Waffles for Steph, and we wish to inform you about it. Why are you doing this? As Stephanie fans, we are really excited for Stephanie's appearance, but we're also upset for two reasons. Reason one would be the fact that we think Steph deserves to also appear in the main universe. Reason two is the fact that we fear that DC will make Smallville the only place to find Steph, rather than give her a place in the main universe. To prevent this, we decided to make the Waffles for Stephanie campaign. What is Waffles for Stephanie? Waffles for Stephanie is a mailing campaign where on August 10th, 2012, you send waffles to DC headquarters along with a notification why you're sending them. Why August 10th? August, and more specifically August 10th, is a very important date. The month of August is when Stephanie's Batgirl series first started. Unfortunately, August 10th is when the series was cancelled. However, it will also be the day Stephanie comes back in the Smallville series. As such, we intend to celebrate Stephanie's return after going missing for a year by showing DC how much we care. What exactly is this notification? The notification is basically telling why you love Steph. It could be anything from a small note saying how you want to see more Steph to an essay on why you think Steph is an important part of the Batman family. What we don't want is ranting or complaining about replacing Stephanie with Babs, or hearing about how much the current Batgirl series sucks compared to Bukiem's run with Steph. Please try to be civil, as we want to be taken seriously. How can I help? Well, there are two ways you can help us. The first way you can help us is by buying a few frozen waffles and on August 10th send them to 1700 Broadway, Midtown Manhattan, New York, New York, otherwise known as DC Comics headquarters. If you don't feel like buying anything or don't want to get up from your computer though, then on August 10th, go on Twitter and send @DC Comics tweets with the hashtag Waffles for Stephanie. And don't be afraid to favorite and retweet other tweets. If you have a Facebook account, then post on DC's Facebook page, and if possible, link to the Waffles for Stephanie Facebook page. Wait, why waffles? To paraphrase Stephanie in the first issue, waffles, a new way of bonding. To borrow some words from some fellow supporters, throughout the book, waffles appear symbolizing, as the quote says, bonding. In fact, the first time we see Stephanie out of costume, her mother is giving her waffles for breakfast. Thanks for reading, and we hope you'll help support the campaign. The Waffles for Stephanie crew. We'll be using this Tumblr to help spread the word and give you news and information as things progress. We'll also be reblogging fan art, so if you want to be reblogged, please submit your art under the Waffles for Steph tag. or one of the other tags featured at the end of this post. Also, feel free to ask us questions. I will be joining the campaign and urge any and all Batman or Batman family fans to do the same. The bigger the support, the more seriously DC Comics will take us and the more they will listen. I will also be providing a video on the importance of Stephanie Brown to Batman and the Batfamily. I'll play the video for you to see and for you to also understand her importance. In an effort to persuade those of importance in the Batman continuity at your offices at DC Comics to allow Stephanie Brown back into the Batman continuity, I have joined the movement known as Waffles for Stephanie, in which the fans of Stephanie Brown send waffles to your headquarters. I've also done my research into the Batman continuity and have compiled information to prove to you that Stephanie Brown is as important to the Batman universe as Alfred Pennyworth, Tim Drake, Cassandra Cain, Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, Jason Todd, and Damian Wayne. She's totally unique in her role in the Batman family. Stephanie Brown is one of the only female members of the Batman family that is not considered a daughter to Batman in the Batfamily. Cassandra Cain was adopted by Batman, and Barbara Gordon, though she is the daughter of Police Commissioner James Gordon, is thought of as one of the Bat-Kids. Stephanie Brown never truly reached that status and instead has created a new part of the Bat-family with her care and search to make Batman happy. The mother figure. Stephanie Brown has always been searching for the approval of Batman ever since her first appearance. She receives her first taste of approval from Batman when Batman asks, "What do you call yourself?" Stephanie responds, "Well, the spoiler." Batman states, "I like that." Detective Comics number 648. Stephanie continues searching for approval throughout her appearances. In Gotham Knights number 22, Batman is told by Oracle that he alienated every member of his loyal team when he asked for backup. So Batman decides to call in Spoiler, Stephanie Brown, whom he considers a reserve member of his team. Stephanie's overexcited to be called on by Batman and tries her hardest not to let Batman down. At one point in the issue, she begins to freak out over a Jokerized cockroach villain, but tries to keep her cool for Batman. Gross! There are bugs all over and oh my god, this is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But I'm trying real hard not to just lose it, cause I know you're counting on me to... This is just before Batman knocks the villain off a fire escape. At the end of the issue, Stephanie mentions how her intercom was on the whole time and she begins to apologize. Wow, I've been like totally blabbing in your ear all night, haven't I? I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to all of this. I'll turn it off now. To which Bruce replies, "Don't apologize, and don't turn it off. I don't mind the company." This shows how much Bruce appreciates just having her around. At the end of the issue, Stephanie shows her concern for Bruce as Batman is in a cave just listening to Stephanie talk. Anyway, I'm gonna head home now, if that's okay. I should get some sleep, and frankly, you should too. As if, right? Okay, Big Bad Bat, this is Spoiler, signing off. Ciao, hasta revoir, and good night. Spoiler doesn't treat Batman like other members of the family do. She even teases Batman by calling him Big Bad Bat. And she shows great concern over Bruce's health. In Gotham Knights number 37, Stephanie continues to try and attain Batman's approval. She was being trained by Batman until that point. In the issue, Stephanie follows Batman to try and talk to him about why she's no longer being trained, as well as why she has been locked out of the Batcave. She becomes persistent, and Batman allows her to go on one more mission with him as a test. The test, though, was rigged by Bruce so that Stephanie would fail and give up her spoiler persona. When she fails, Bruce fires her, although it seems more like a breakup. Bruce tells Stephanie, "I'm sorry about your father, Stephanie," as she replies, "Go to hell." When Bruce arrives at the Batcave, Alfred tells him that his bank is on hold to divest funds into Bane's account. Bruce responds, "Tell them it's fine. Proceed. Whatever." Which shows that kicking Stephanie out of the family has hurt him as much as it did her. Alfred finally asks what happened the night before, and Bruce tells Alfred that he fired Stephanie Brown. Alfred then calls Tim Drake to consult Stephanie. All Stephanie says while sobbing is, "He's such a jerk." The issue shows how deeply it affected both of them, and how differently they expressed that pain. Robin, number 126, is the issue that Stephanie was promoted to Robin in. In the issue, she sneaks into the Batcave and confronts Bruce, telling him, "From now on, you can call me Robin." Batman gives her the position on the spot. When Alfred asks why Bruce is giving her the position, Bruce states, "I did everything I could to make her quit. She wouldn't. She stood up to me, right down the line, defied me. I know frontline generals that don't have that kind of will." This shows that she can put her foot down when she thinks Bruce is wrong or out of line. In Detective Comics number 796, Stephanie Brown, as the fourth Robin, is being taught by Batman how to be an effective crime fighter. He teaches her not to talk as much, and how to go about being a detective. When Batman discovers that the killer they are after is Victor Zsasz, he tells Stephanie to go home because she's not ready for him yet. Stephanie refuses and states that she's not going to learn anything if Bruce is being overprotective, so he allows her to continue working the case on one condition. That condition is that Stephanie wears an aluminum fiberglass weave neck armor on her Robin costume. During the ensuing fight, Batman's arm gets dislocated and Zsasz begins strangling Batman to death, but then Batman begins to laugh. Zsasz believes that this is Batman laughing in the face of death, just as Stephanie saves Bruce and defeats Zsasz. After Bruce gives the last punch to knock out Zsasz, Stephanie begins to worry about Batman once more. "Oh my god, are you okay?" Batman then relocates his shoulder, and Stephanie goes over to look at it to make sure he is fine. Once again, showing the type of care Batman has been missing for most of his life. In Batgirl, Volume 1, number 53, Stephanie Brown tells Cassandra Cain how excited she is to be the new Robin. "So I guess you're wondering how come I'm wearing this getup, huh? Well, Sam quit being Robin because his folks need him, and then Batman asked if I could do it instead, and of course I said yes, because I know I could do it, and it's a dream come true, and wahoo! I'm just so incredibly happy, Cass. He actually asked me to do it. Not bad for the daughter of an old failed bank robber, eh?" This shows just how bad she wanted to work with Batman and how grateful she was to actually be able to do it. She's filled with so much joy just knowing that Batman has accepted her and that he's happy with her. Robin number 128 is the last issue of Stephanie Brown as Robin, but it's also an issue that shows why Batman needs her. In the issue, the Scarab knocks Batman and Stephanie out of a window. Stephanie desperately reaches to grab onto Batman as Batman holds onto the window. In her war journal, Stephanie writes, "Now hang on and pray he can hold us both. But he's Batman, so of course he can hold us. It's official. I love this man." As confident as she is in Batman, she still shows concern for him. When Bruce is once again kicked out of the window, Scarab begins to choke Stephanie. When Scarab leaves, with the tracer Stephanie strategically put on her, Stephanie crawls to the window gasping for air and checks on Batman. "Batman? Are you okay? Batman?" Later in the issue, she will once again disobey orders to protect Bruce, which will cost her the role of Robin. Batman goes in to defeat Scarab after locating her with Stephanie's tracer. He begins feeding information on the fight to Stephanie as she wants to know what's going on. Some left leg damage, not much bleeding, and the gyro stabilizers are shot. Have to be careful walking. Stephanie becomes worried. "I can't stand this. Let me help." When Batman states, "Oh, and I'm blind," switching to echolocation. Stephanie refuses to stay put. "That's it. Orders or not, I'm coming in. Hold on, boss." Stephanie obviously risks being fired to save Batman. Batman's care at this point is more important than his satisfaction. During the War Games story arc, Stephanie wanted to prove to Batman that she could be a hero. She put a whole plan in motion just to show she was worthy of being a hero. Because she didn't account for Matches Malone, which Stephanie did not know was actually Bruce himself, the plan failed. As Stephanie escapes from Black Mask after being tortured by him, she is spotted by Oracle, who is told by Batman to find her. Bruce grabs her by the hand as Stephanie's running. Bruce says, "It's alright. Everything's alright." Bruce then pulls her in and hugs her, as Stephanie, battered and bruised, simply says, "I just wanted to help." Bruce brings her to Leslie Tompkins. There he tells her, "Save her." Leslie says she'll do what she can, to which Bruce replies, "Just save her, please." As Stephanie tries to recover, Bruce tells her, "Stephanie, everything you've done, everything you've been through, the city owes you, and so do I." Gotham Knights number 58. In Batman number 633, Stephanie dies, with Bruce staying by her side the whole time. Bruce tells Leslie to leave him alone with Stephanie. The whole conversation just shows how much these two characters care about each other. Batman? Shh. You shouldn't try to speak, Stephanie. You need to save your strength. But I screwed up so bad. It was me. All me. I started this war. I know, but there's no need to worry about it now. We took care of... You're so right to fire me. I'm such an idiot. Does Tim hate me? No. Of course not. He adores you. Always has. I have a baby. Did you know that? She's not mine anymore, but... Don't worry, Stephanie. She'll never want for anything. I promise. Batman? I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. When you let me be Robin, it wasn't just some kind of trick, was it? A way to get Tim to come back? Or your way to show me I wasn't cut out for the job? Stephanie, was any of it real? Was I ever really Robin? Of course you were. Good. And it was really part of it. Part of the legend. Even if it was only for a little while. No matter what. No one could take that away. No matter what. I think I need to rest now. You bet. I'll be here. Watching over you. Then, Stephanie's heartbeat slows to a stop. Bruce's face of anguish and horror is reminiscent of the death of Jason Todd, or that of his parents. In Detective Comics number 800, Bruce thinks to himself. He revisits Alfred's question of why he would allow Stephanie to be Robin. Her zest and zeal were infectious. He goes on to say, You deserve better, Stephanie. You truly did. During the Search for a Hero story arc, Robin number 175 to 182, she tries to protect Robin by keeping him off the case of Batman's disappearance, as per Batman's instructions, as well as trying to make a better Robin, as Batman put it. She wanted to help Batman make Tim Drake an even better hero than he already was, so when Batman did breathe his last breath, Tim could continue the crusade. Both Bruce and Stephanie were looking out for Tim and tried to make him grow into a stronger hero. This shows Stephanie's care of not only Bruce, but his Batfamily as well. In Bruce Wayne, The Road Home, Batgirl, Bruce keeps an eye on Stephanie and puts her through one last test. When he finally reveals himself, she slaps him. She then begins to freak out and yells, I'm glad you're not dead, as she runs off. Bruce visits her again on a rooftop, and Stephanie begins to explain that she has grown up. No longer is she chasing after a boy or playing a pawn in Batman's games. She believes she deserves the role of Batgirl, and that Bruce can't take it away from her. Bruce then places his hand on her shoulder as they look into each other's eyes. Bruce, with a smile, says, Is that really what you want? Stephanie responds, Yes. Bruce then replies, Then say it. Stephanie finally says, I want to be Batgirl. In that moment, Bruce has finally accepted her. The approval Stephanie has been searching for has finally been found. Bruce goes on to write in his white casebook that she is a wild card in the best of ways, and that she could bring hope to Gotham. Stephanie is, in a way, the antithesis of Catwoman. Stephanie is the daughter of Cluemaster and a drug-addicted mother, just as Catwoman is the daughter of the crime boss Carmine Falcone. And like Catwoman, Stephanie Brown is a mother herself. Stephanie gave her child up for adoption just as Catwoman did, but the way they live their lives are vast contrasts. Stephanie rose out of her circumstances to be a hero, while Catwoman rose out of her circumstances to steal. Both have their ups and downs in their relationship to Batman, but while Catwoman will not change sides for him, Stephanie Brown did whatever she could for him. And Stephanie, throughout her battles alongside Batman, would always go out of her way to make sure Batman is okay. Catwoman, on the other hand, may, and often does, backstab Batman to get her way. Stephanie and Selina are both wild cards to Bruce, but only one of them is a wild card in a good way. Since Stephanie Brown is a mother, she naturally has motherly instincts, which show when she cares about not only the children that may be affected by criminals and a criminal element, but Bruce as well. Stephanie Brown can also be seen as a good version of Talia al Ghul. Stephanie, like Talia, worries about the well-being of Batman and his family in a motherly way. Although, unlike Talia, Stephanie has a moral code more in tune with Bruce's, which both Talia and Catwoman lack. It seems that Stephanie doesn't know where she fits in with the Batfamily, but she carved out a new spot. A spot that's been missing since Bruce was 10 years old in that alleyway called Crime Alley. Bruce has since built himself a family, but it's been painfully obvious that his family's missing the motherly love figure it so desperately needs. You can have the stern, loving father, but without the loving, caring mother, a family's only half complete. Every family needs a motherly figure and a fatherly figure to have a balance of loving care and stern strength. That includes the Batfamily. Luckily, Stephanie Brown fits that role better than Catwoman or Talia ever could. Now that you have the new 52, this is the perfect time to reacquaint or introduce for the first time readers to Stephanie Brown. Her zest and zeal that brighten Bruce's day. Her motherly care towards Bruce, Tim, and the rest of the Batfamily. And the hope she could bring to Gotham. Through her motherly hope, she is a perfect balance to the fatherly vengeance Batman brings to the family. Both caring, but now balancing, which makes the Batfamily stronger than it ever was before. Thank you for your time. Always a fan, Tony Piccirillo. And so once again, I urge you to join the campaign so we can show DC Comics how great we are as Bat fans and how great we are united as one, working towards a common goal of trying to get the best Batman stories possible, and for the Batman characters to get as much respect as they deserve. The links to the campaign are in the description below. I hope to see you with an update about DC's appreciation of us in the coming months. Try to spread the word, and have a nice day.